Welcome to Spain for day 2 of the Rally de Catalunya. These tarmac stages are the setting for the penultimate chapter in what is a compelling battle for the WRC Drivers' Championship, where Mikko Hirvonen holds a 5-point lead over Sebastian Loeb. It was no surprise that it was the Citroën driver who took the initiative on day 1. He's topped the podium in Spain for the last 4 years, and he knows it's essential he makes it 5 wins to close the gap on Hirvonen in the championship. His lead over the Ford Focus driver stood at over 30 seconds by the end of the day.
I'm happy because we are still very close from the first place, and the main thing is that it's not Mikko the first.
Citroën, they've been really fast again, and okay, we've been a little bit closer, but not really close enough to really put some pressure on them. But hopefully we can find some more speed. I think we are losing more on really twisty sections, so that's the area where we need to improve.
But it was Citroën's Dani Sordo who stole the headlines. On his home rally, he set fastest times on 4 out of the 6 stages and would end the day as leader.
Good day for me. I'm leading. Sebastian is coming really fast, but we will see tomorrow. At the moment, today everything was okay.
Dani may have been encouraged by the presence of another hero of this sports-mad country. Alberto Contador, winner of this year's Tour de France, was an interested spectator. Petter Solberg was making his debut in the Citroën C4 and was more than satisfied with his performance as he established himself in 4th. And there was another Citroën C4 in 5th, that driven by France's Sébastien Ogier, winner of last year's JWRC title. The only other Ford Focus in the top 6 was Jari-Matti Latvala, and his performance so far will not be good enough to keep his team in the fight for the Manufacturers' Championship. Citroën are currently in a position to claim that title this weekend. And confirmation that their 2 drivers are in 1st and 2nd going into day 2. Sordo and Loeb separated by just 1.6 seconds. Hirvonen's over 30 seconds off the lead, and Petter Solberg's nearly a minute behind Sordo. And this is where the action takes place. Catalunya is situated in the northeast corner of Spain. Barcelona is the major city in the region, but the rally is based in the town of Salou on the Costa Dorada. Today's stages are in the hills and forests to the west of here, and here are some more details about those roads. Day 2 of Rally Spain could prove to be critical in the 2009 championship race. There are 6 stages with 3 in the morning, which are repeated in the afternoon. The opening stage, El Priorat, is the longest and toughest of the event at 38 kilometers. It contains the famous El Molar hairpin, a favorite for the Spanish fans. In all, there are 128 competitive kilometers for the crews to tackle. On to the day 2 action then, and a real treat awaits to get us started. The 38-kilometre El Priorat is not only the longest stage of the weekend, it's also arguably the most spectacular stretch of road of the whole rally. And after his stunning drive on the opening day, it's home hero Dani Sordo who's first into the stage. Perfect sunny conditions this morning compared to yesterday's damp start, and Dani has wasted little time getting up to speed. Next into the stage, and just 1.6 seconds behind his teammate on the leaderboard, is Sebastian Loeb. With the wide flowing road snaking out ahead of him, the Frenchman is inch perfect as he searches for the fastest line. It's looking like an impressive start already for Seb. As expected, despite his extra tarmac tuition, Mikko Hirvonen has struggled to match the pace of the Citroëns. Driving on asphalt comes naturally to Loeb and Sordo. Mikko's had to work hard to reach the level he has, but so far, it's still not quite been enough. Mikko's 3rd place is by no means guaranteed, though, as he has a rejuvenated Petter Solberg 25 seconds behind at the start of the day. The former world champion has a tarmac win on his CV in Corsica 6 years ago, and driving a 2008 spec Citroën C4 for the first time, Petter has wasted little time adapting to his new toy. Up ahead though, Dani Sordo is still attacking Il Priorat's sinuous bends with real aggression. He really is on the edge, but judging from the early split times, he has been marginally slower than his teammate.
I tried to push in, but it's difficult to push in with these tires. No, the car is moving. I had a little understeer all the time, but it's okay.
Loeb, of course, no Citroën will not allow Sordo to win with two drivers' championship points at stake. But even so, the Frenchman will want to prove he's still the quickest on tarmac. If Seb can better that target time, he'll move into the lead for the first time. And he could do this. Into the flying finish. Could go either way. Whoa, nothing between the Citroëns to the nearest tenth of a second. Loeb and Sordo now share the lead.
I didn't have the splits of Dani. I had one at the start and one at the end, but I don't have. Maybe when the gap was too important, they didn't tell me. I don't know, but it's okay. I'm quite happy.
As the Citroëns continue their own private battle, Hirvonen has been powerless to prevent them edging further away. But this telemetry shows how hard he is working on one of the tighter, twistier sections of this stage. Keep an eye on the brake use indicated by the red light. Mikko constantly dabbing on the pedal to set himself up for the following corners. Impressive driving in here from Mikko, but he is still 5.3 seconds slower than Seb. There is some good news for Hirvonen on this opening stage of day two, though. Petter Solberg hasn't quite been able to match the Finn's pace, suffering with a bit of understeer. He's 3.5 seconds slower than Mikko and will lose some time to a charging Sébastien Ogier here too. Jari-Matti Latvala has struggled to find a good rhythm so far this weekend and begins the day in 6th, almost 14 seconds behind Ogier. He's slower than the Frenchman again in stage 7, though. He loses over 10 seconds in this 38-kilometre test. Evgeny Novikov has already given his new co-driver Stefan Prevost a few scares on their first rally together. The erratic Russian has shown good pace, though, currently running in 7th.
Left one, 40 long. 40 long. Open 0 long.
Oh! It's another mistake. That massive impact has ripped off 2 wheels. Evgeny is acquiring a worrying reputation for spectacular incidents, and that's another costly lapse in concentration. With the C4 heavily damaged, unsurprisingly, that is the end of his rally.
I think it was a mistake in the pace note. It was a very fast corner, full gas for me, and it was a 5th gear and a long corner, and just at the end it was too fast.
It's another nasty incident in what's already been a lively debut season for the 18-year-old. After 7 stages then, the 2 work Citroëns are locked together at the top. Hirvonen's now a distant third, almost 38 seconds off the pace. Petter Solberg's still 4th, but has a fired-up Ogier just 20 seconds behind. Matt Wilson and Federico Valagra move up, following Novikov's off. Braking points are crucial on these tarmac stages, and here we can compare Loeb and Hirvonen using virtual spectator. The red line represents when the cars are braking, and other than a short dab on the pedal, you can see that Loeb is later on the brakes into this stage 7 corner. Hirvonen also needs another quick dab to set his car up further on. The result of this is that Loeb is earlier on the gas on the exit, his speed there as much as 5 kilometers an hour quicker. The battle for supremacy on the Spanish tarmac continues after this break, where you'll also be hearing from the 2 FIA presidential candidates, Jean Todt and Ari Vatanen. See you in a few minutes. Welcome back to the Costa Dorada, where Citroën drivers Sébastien Loeb and Dani Sordo are once again putting on a masterclass of tarmac driving. They're locked together on the identical time, and 2 interested spectators of this battle are the FIA presidential candidates. The 2 candidates are former Peugeot boss Jean Todt and the 1981 World Rally champion Ari Vatanen, seen here in their days together at Peugeot. The vote to decide the new FIA president takes place on October the 21st, and both men are on the campaign trail in Spain and outlined their credentials for the job for us.
You are not electing only one person, you are electing a team. You know, my skill is to have had always success because of the people I had around me, and it's the challenge by aiming for the presidency of the FIA.
People must believe in you, because you must lead by the example. And I'm passionate about this sport, about automobile, and leader has to be a servant. Leader does not own FIA, not at all.
Both candidates are confident about the future of the WRC.
It's a long time I did not attend a rally, and I must say I was amazed and I was full of admiration about the commitment of the people, all the new outfit which I could see to contribute to the WRC.
And this is a people sport. This is something very democratic. That's beauty about rallying. It goes to people. And I'm a people's man, I've always been. And I want to see this sport flourishing again. And it can be done, but only by working together.
Back to the action, and there's two more stages to run before service, starting with the short 8.6-kilometre Les Garingues test. After the epic 38-kilometre stage that started today, these two shorter tests will be a lot easier on tyres, so the Citroën drivers can really give it everything out there as they resume their fight at the front. It's still incredibly tight, but Sordo loses the outright lead to Loeb in stage 8 by just 0.2 of a second. Danny has set a time of 9 minutes 28.1 seconds in stage 9, and we've joined Loeb as he seeks to hold on to the lead. The world champion hurling the perfectly balanced C4 through the final few corners here. Can he beat that target and maintain top spot? Oh, not quite. The Citroën fight continues, and Sordo moves back into the lead.
The stage was very fast at the beginning, and I like this part. I was trying to push, and it was quicker, so... But okay. It's nice to drive like that. The stages are really, really nice, and to have a fight like this is really enjoyable.
Seeing little point in taking excessive risks in a foolhardy pursuit of the C4 drivers, Mikko Hirvonen is focusing on keeping Petter Solberg at arm's length at the moment. He's actually slower than the Norwegian in both these stages, but loses less than 2 seconds overall. Sebastian Ogier, meanwhile, is continuing to grow in confidence in his first regular tarmac rally in a WRC car. He claims his first stage win on tarmac in stage 8. By the end of the morning loop, he's less than 19 seconds behind Solberg. And Ogier's pace is proving too hard to handle for Jari-Matti Latvala. With the Finn still down in 6th, and the Citroën drivers flying, Ford's lingering interest in the Manufacturers' Championship is fading fast. Latvala still giving it his all, using the big cuts on this section of road. After stage 9, Latvala's more than 41 seconds behind Ogier, and the Frenchman in turn is now 18.7 seconds behind Petter Solberg. Out front, Sordo's back into the lead. He's 0.9 of a second up on his teammate. The crews are now on their way back to service in Salou, which is situated in the Portaventura theme park, where you can find some high adrenaline thrills to rival those that we've been witnessing out on the stages. As ever, rally leader Danny Sordo is the big draw in the service park.
Yeah, it's really great battle, no? And I enjoy a lot in the stages. I think I had a very good confidence with the car in the last stage. Not in the first stage, the car was understeering a lot, but after I changed for the second and third stage and was better.
Is Danny actually putting you under pressure? Is it healthy for you two to be fighting at the moment?
Yes, it's okay, because we are in a situation where we need to keep the concentration, and to have this little fight is good for that. For me, I prefer this than to be alone and to say, okay, what can I do now? So no, it's okay.
So everybody happy in the Citroën camp, but it will be feeling like harder work at Ford.
Feels like we always had a small problem with the car, that it's always understeering with long second and third gear corners, and it's a little bit the same feeling again. But everybody are saying the same problem, that their car is understeering. So maybe I should just learn to live with it, and just, even if it's understeering, try to drive a bit better.
Back up to the stages, the crowds are out in force, and with a lot of corner cutting on these roads, there could be some dirty sections where gravel has been pulled onto the tarmac. So with the two Citroën men given licence to maintain their duel at the front, let's join rally leader Dani Sordo straight away. El Priorat is famous for the El Molar hairpin, which has become a magnet for Spain's famously boisterous fans. This reception for their home hero is sure to give Sordo and Catalan co-driver Marc Marti a real boost. Sebastian Loeb is currently just 9/10 of a second behind his teammate. It's just been announced that Citroën will be retaining the services of Loeb and Sordo next season. The world champion could still make a sensational F1 race debut at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix later this year, but it seems a full-time switch to circuit racing is not an option now for 2010. Mikko Hirvonen may enjoy himself a little bit more on these gravel-covered roads this afternoon. The Finn won't mind the slippery conditions and has opted to carry just one spare tyre to save weight. He's attacking hard in an effort to make an impression on the Citroën's huge lead. Both Hirvonen and Petter Solberg are really pushing. They're beating everyone at the moment. Solberg has the slight edge on the man in third. He's raised the ride height of the C4 slightly, and it's been very effective. After 11 kilometres, Petter's fastest overall and a second up on Mikko. Back to the fight at the front, though, and Loeb has not been too comfortable on the dirty tarmac. You can clearly see where the dirt's been thrown on the road here. He's slower than Danny again in stage 10, and now 2.1 seconds behind overall.
It's very hot. It's important not to destroy the tires. For that, we have also two spare wheels, and that's a bit heavy. So on 38 kilometers, you pay it a bit. But I think Danny has the same. So no, I've done a good stage.
Back to Hirvonen, and the Finn has maintained his terrific pace in here. He has a chance to beat the rally leader for the first time.
Ja oikein K-kirraa. 4. Vasen nopea tiukka pidä. Ja oikein nopea. Kirraa käännä. Kivi sisällä.
There's nothing in it. Yes, a good stage for Mikko. He's quicker than both Citroëns for the first time, but it makes little impact on his overall deficit. Sebastien Ogier will hope he can maintain the terrific pace he's already shown on this second day. Despite Petter Solberg's strong start to the stage, Ogier powers through the last few kilometres, claiming his second fastest time of the day and makes another couple of seconds up on Solberg. After stage 10, Ogier is now just 16.2 seconds behind Solberg. The Norwegian is over 28 behind third place Mikko Hirvonen. The Citroëns still dominate, with Sordo currently 2.1 seconds ahead of his teammate. Sordo still has the edge then, and the final stages of day 2 are coming up after this break. Welcome back to Catalonia, where Dani Sordo has put in another scintillating drive in front of his home fans to lead the rally. There has been plenty going on up and down the leaderboard. Let's check on the progress of some of the runners further back. Matt Wilson's the leading Stobart VK Ford driver in 7th. A small moment caused by a pace note error this morning aside, it's been a steady day so far. Under little pressure from behind, the Brit is looking good for another point-scoring finish in Spain. Federico Villagra may have suffered the embarrassment of stalling in front of the massed crowds on stage 10. But the Argentinian national champion holds the final points place in 8th. Henning Solberg, though, has his eyes on Villagra's position. Henning has struggled to find a good rhythm on the Catalan asphalt so far. He's just over half a minute behind Federico after stage 10. The leading privateer is Peugeot 307 driver Danny Snobek. The Frenchman is just behind Solberg in 10th. He may not be there long, however, as Conrad Rautenbach has begun to find some pace. The 8th fastest time in stage 10, he closes up to 14.3 seconds behind Snobek. 2 more stages to come then on day 2, and let's get back to the boys at the front, where the all-Citroën duel has shown little sign of easing up. There are some very dirty roads out there again, but rally leader Sordo is still looking very controlled. He's a second slower than Loeb in stage 11, so was just 1.1 seconds ahead when he came into the final test. Oh, he seemed to back off a little there. That could have been deliberate. Has he conceded the lead as we head into the final overnight break?
I lost time at the end, but anyway, it's okay.
You lose time on purpose?
I lost time, I make a mistake.
So an opportunity for Danny's teammate to get back into the lead. The focus of Citroën's weekend is to ensure Loeb claims the victory and secure the manufacturer's title at the same time. But Sebastian will want to win in his own right rather than have Sordo hand it to him on a plate. He should get back into top spot here. Yes, Loeb leads again. He's ahead by 1.5 seconds. Hirvonen has had no answer to the Citroën's blistering speed again today. He's done a solid enough job of keeping Petter Solberg at bay. There are signs that the Norwegian is getting back to his best in the C4, though, so Hirvonen has a nervous final day ahead of him.
Nico, I don't know how good your maths is, but if you look at that quickly, Sebastian's in the lead now.
Yeah. Well, they've been having a really big fight, so now he's in the lead.
I don't think that was a fight, though.
Yeah, me neither.
And worryingly for Mikko, Petter Solberg really is finishing in style today. Second fastest in stage 11 and then quickest in 12. Petter beats Hirvonen in both and ends up just 22.4 seconds behind the man in third. And Solberg needs to keep pushing as he still has Citroën Junior's young star, Sébastien Ogier, hot on his heels. The Frenchman is just 20 seconds back at the end of the day. So another perfect day for Citroën. Loeb is back in the lead, 1.5 seconds ahead of Sordo, while Petter Solberg and Sébastien Ogier could do Loeb a favour and pressure Hirvonen tomorrow. Solberg will be confident after setting the fastest time on that final stage.
I had the plan to start slowly and calm on the first day and improve through the second day and get close to the guys, but to win a stage like this now, I was a little bit shocked myself.
Today I felt really well on this rhythm. Maybe tomorrow would be good to slow down a little bit, but I don't know. I will drive like I feel and we'll see.
Do you think Danny's been asked to stay behind you now, has he, for the rest of the rally?
Yes, but we know that it's very important for me to finish in front of Danny and Mikko behind, so it gives me another chance for the championship. So it's what we will try to do tomorrow.
Distance is only one second. No, it's not too much, but we will see. At the moment, it's not possible because the situation is really very difficult. But I enjoy.
Is that frustrating for you?
I don't know. This is frustration or no? It's strange, you know. But I think it's the job for the team and for Seb, and I accept it.
So a crucial day in the destiny of both championships tomorrow, and you can keep up to date with the stage times at WRC.com. Join us again tomorrow to see the exciting finale of the Rally de Catalunya.